Elizabeth, you obviously feel strongly about the Harper government after C-38. How are you going to stop Harper in 2015, you and his opponents?
Yeah, frankly, I think we have to stop Stephen Harper now. I think you have a prime minister who's running away with an agenda that was never discussed in an election campaign. He is the leader of the Conservative Party, and as such, he became prime minister. But we don't directly elect a prime minister in our Canadian Westminster parliamentary democracy. In theory, he is first among equals. I know it doesn't look like that. We don't look like we're equals at all in Parliament anymore, and not even the other cabinet members around him are any close to being equal because of the power that is concentrated in the Prime Minister's office. But I think in the same way that Gordon Campbell's not Premier of BC anymore, the public opinion makes a difference between elections, and if enough Canadians say, wait a minute, I'm not putting up with this. This is off the charts. This is not stuff we ever heard in an election. We never heard in an election that U.S. law enforcement agents would be allowed into Canada to arrest Canadians under U.S. law. We never heard anything about the destruction of fish habitat legislation, or that we were going to raise old age security to 67. None of these things were talked about in an election, and they're much more egregious, frankly, than Gordon Campbell bringing in an HST.
Are you actually suggesting that people rise up and create such furor, and his poll numbers will go down so much that he'll be driven from office, he'll have to resign like Campbell did?
Yes.
Really?
I think, well, it is a democracy, and a democracy isn't that every few years we get to vote and we elect a dictator and then we all go to sleep till there's a chance to remove them in the next election. That's how people describe democracy sometimes. And I use the word dictator in the context, by the way, just to make sure it's clear, that Jean Chrétien was described by Jeffrey Simpson in the book The Benign Dictatorship.
Yeah.
In Canada, a prime minister and a majority government has, compared to the UK, the US, quite a lot more power. But the reality is that between elections, an engaged citizenry is the best check on abuse of power.